This is Mitch, and welcome to the Real Estate Investor Summit podcast. I have Nate Pummel with me today, and he's going to talk about how to make driving for dollars one of your key elements in finding houses, and how he's taken this thing to the nth degree to make it so much more than what driving for dollars used to mean to you before you're going to listen to this. So, with no further ado, how you doing, Nate?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
Hey, give us a little background real quick so we can figure out who Nate Pummel is and how you got on this podcast, and then we'll jump into your product and how you're helping investors.
Okay. Yeah. So, like most people that end up getting into real estate, I was working a job and found out that, I was going to get a promotion, and it was going to be a very quick promotion, and the promotion ended up being 0.4% after 11 months. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, am I busting my butt for 0.4%? And I thought, man, this is crazy.
Hey, so usually what they do in those promotions, right, is they give you 3 times the responsibility, and then they give you 0.4% raise.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
screwed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so I was sitting there thinking, man, what if this probably isn't the best route to go? You know, I'm working extra, and my kids are asking me where I'm at, and I just thought, you know what, I need to go look into this. So that's when I really started digging deep into, like, can I really make this real estate investing thing work? Because I live in Denver, which is a super expensive market.
Yeah.
So as I was kind of doing research and, kind of getting into the game, I listened to a podcast. I took the plunge, bought a property. As I listened to more podcasts, I found that most people were talking that they were driving for dollars with pen and paper. And I thought, this is crazy. Like, we live in the digital age, and yet these extremely successful investors are driving around with a pad and paper and taking pictures and sending addresses to their VA and looking them up. And I'm like, this is all accessible to us. So ended up making a demo in PowerPoint, actually, and actually partnered with a flipper here in Denver on my grandma's house when she moved into a nursing home. Took that money and we built our first version of a software product to try to help. So it's been overall a good experience of just, I'm starting to live and breathe all this real estate investing stuff, from buying to creating products, all kinds of stuff. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, well, if anybody's tried to come up with a software or a program or an app, it's not an easy task. My hat's off to you for even wanting to tackle it. Were you like me? I would have never tackled like livecom.com if I'd have known what a pain in the ass it was going to be.
Yeah.
But to get into it so deep that A, it becomes a challenge. Like, I'm going to get this thing done if it kills me. And B, I've come too far to quit, so I can't quit now. So you got to keep going. Is that kind of which one was your revelation?
No, yeah, that's exactly right. I reached a certain point and I thought, this is kind of the do or die time. I either need to move forward and just do this thing for real, or I need to shut it down. So when I decided to do things for real, I actually sold all of my investment properties to create cash to build the next version. So it's been a kind of a 2 steps forward, 2 steps backwards kind of thing. So I'm excited when it's only 1 step back and 2 steps forward.
Yeah. So you're out there, you're seeing these people, doing the business like the Flintstones, and you come up with this idea. Tell us about the product. The name of the product is DriveBuy REI. And before you guys run and go directly over there, just know there's some discounts here because I'm always trying to work out some advantage for the people that listen to the show here. And Nate was kind enough to offer some incentives for people that come through this channel. So I appreciate very much that you did that. Yeah. But let's learn about the products. It's called DriveBuy REI. Oh, we also have a giveaway too. You're going to give away a free trial, but we'll get to that link here in a little bit. Let's learn what you're giving away first. Tell us about the product.
So DriveBuy REI is essentially the best way to automate the driving for dollars experience. So instead of that pen and paper and busting out that map and a highlighter, we basically just put a tool on your mobile phone, track where you've been, flag your property real quick, and essentially all those leads get saved and put into a database on the web. So just like, you hear people talking about all this cloud platform technology. Well, all our stuff is in the cloud. It's shared across all your devices, and basically you can manage and market all the leads that you find through our web portal. So you can send direct mail. We got skip tracing coming soon. And the cool thing that we've decided to do with DriveBuy REI is not only have we automated the driving for dollars experience, but the other piece we did is we're trying to be a full service platform. So now you can actually download any list from any service and upload it into our platform and use all of our marketing tools essentially without a subscription. So you download a list source list, some probate leads, you upload them into our list, you can skip trace them, send direct mail, and all kinds of cool stuff. And then you can manage that all within our mini CRM right on the web. So
you got a mini CRM. So let's take it from the very beginning. I'm in my car. I decide I want to go find some houses to make offers on. So I'm going to go start my driving for dollars. Take it from there.
Yep. So you would open up the mobile app. You'd kick off the application. And you just start driving. So we have two modes. We've got a tracking mode and a follow mode. The tracking mode will leave a highlighter behind all the streets that you've driven on. And when you find a property that's in distress, you would just press on that property, drop a pin on it, and keep going. So whatever meets your criteria, or you're in your farm area, you can just see right on the map every street you've driven down, and then you can see all the pins of all the houses that you've dropped. And once you drop a pin, if you have a subscription with us, you automatically get the owner's name and mailing address.
You get the owner. You're going to the tax records and pulling up the taxpayer records information.
That's correct. Yep. And we also give some light financial information. So when it was purchased, what they bought it for, potential, an estimated mortgage balance, stuff like that.
Very cool. Estimated mortgage balance is very important. Of course, it's just an estimate. You never know. But
yep. Yeah, but date of purchase and estimated mortgage balances are all good kind of ways to triangulate and see like, hey, is this somebody I need to pursue or not?
Yeah. So, my experience is when I'm driving for dollars, because I used to pay people to do that. They could get, my town is San Antonio, Texas, as you see the skyline here in the background. And it's about 1,700,000 people. And so in a day, we could get about 100 houses, but maybe you can get more the way you're doing it, because my guys were doing it, the Stone Age way. They're taking a picture, writing all this stuff down, sending a text at every house, and we're having to do all this work. But about 100 houses a day, and I'd pay $100 a day and for an 8-hour day, and then I'd pay maybe a little, and then I'd pay them $20, $30, $40 for gas, whatever. It's really more of an incentive bonus if they could get me some decent houses. But this would be so much easier. Can I, if I have an account, can I assign that guy to the account? I mean, am I the only one that can have it on my phone or what?
Yeah. So in the next few months here, we're actually releasing our bird dog capability. So you'll be able to hire drivers and assign them to your account. And what's super cool is, you'll be able to actually see where they've driven, and it's time stamped. So you know how long they've been out. Which is pretty cool. So it'll be a really effective way to start managing the driving for dollars process, because tons of people, especially as either the market shrinks or expands, falling back on driving for dollars is pretty common with most investors. And so knowing that your drivers are actually driving and what streets they've gone down, you can see, like, are they just flagging every property? Are they just hitting? Are they following the process? Are they actually going down the streets that I asked them to go down? And then you can see, like, hey, did they miss anything and stuff like that. So that's one of the things we're working hard on most right now is getting that bird dog capability out, because a lot of people are asking for that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, because you can see where you've covered, like the next guy that goes out, don't go to this neighborhood. Every street in that deal's highlighted already. Don't go to that. Don't go to else. And, I find it kind of cool about the mini CRM. I'd like to hear more about that, because finding these houses and taking the initial, doing the one step, that's just the very beginning of being a real estate investor. It's all in the follow-up. The follow-up is what separates the men from the boys.
Yeah.
Whoever has the best follow-up system is going to buy more houses. And we all know that, it's been said 1,000 times. It's probably no news, but in case you haven't heard, you start buying houses a lot of times in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th touch, and a touch is any form of communication, a postcard, a text, a voice drop, a letter, a personal phone call. That's a touch. So, if you're dropping off before multiple touches, you've done all the upfront work, and then you're falling dead there too soon. So, in my humble opinion, do you agree?
No, man, that's exactly right. And you know what? That follow-up is important in all of these, in every industry. And I think it's lost on people, and people get busy, and some people aren't serious yet. And so, one thing, that I've experienced not only with the app, but within the real estate is not to be shy with the follow-up. I mean, I've followed up with some people, 50 times. I just make a reminder, and I follow up with them once a week. Either via email or text or something. And I basically follow up until they say, stop following up with me. If they don't say stop, I just keep going, because, you're right. If you don't, the following up is key. And that's where, you do separate yourself. So
Let's talk about that follow-up. You can say as a private individual real estate investor, yeah, I'm going to do this. Well, you're not. You're not. You might do it for a week. You might do it for 2 weeks. If you're really good, you'll do it for a month maybe. But Christmas is going to come. They're going to break out the eggnog. You're going to take 2 weeks off, and then you're probably not coming back. It's kind of like the first of the year pledge to lose some weight. It lasts about 2 weeks, and then you're like, maybe. And, so it's all, you either have to, hire someone to make sure that gets done. And usually the most effective way to do this stuff is to get most efficient way economically is to get someone overseas to do the stuff for $2 or $3 or $4 an hour, so you can afford to really, have someone on it every minute, every day for months and months on end. And it's very important to them because that's their livelihood. That is their job. Yeah. And they don't do it, they don't feed their family this month. So that's one way. The other way is just to automate. Most of the time it's a combination of both, because I found that very few automations are complete, to the nth degree. I wish it weren't so, and I hope that you invent that one, but usually there's still something to do or to oversee. I mean, even if it's automated, someone needs to check to see that the automation hasn't got a snafu in it today, or something,
Yep.
Because we're dealing in technology, and as good as any of us want to be, me with LiveCom or you with DriveBuy REI or anybody, links break and people got to get notified, and you got to fix some stuff sometimes. It's just part of the nature of the beast today.
Yep.
In the future, things will get better, but today someone's got to be watching the systems on a daily, or at least every other 3 or 4 days, because if you don't stay on top of it, you'll look up one day and think, well, this thing's been frozen for a week, and I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
You said mini CRM, so I'm going to guess that there's going to be some room for some real people in there, And there's things that automation can't do. Automation can't make a personal phone call. It just can't. Automation can send a text to the person you want to call, or you, and say, hey, it's time to call this guy at 123 Main Street at 210-669-40, whatever. It can do that, but you can't automate a personal phone call just by the virtue of personal phone call. Someone's got to do it.
Not yet. Yeah.
And, even some things like it should, and I'm sure you could automate it if you were really out there, but, mail a hard copy of a contract. That's kind of hard to get a robot to do that, but it can be done. But in our office, we just haven't got that far, to that far in automation. So someone gets a text saying, you got to copy the contract and send out a hard copy. That means they got to drop it in an envelope and put a stamp on it and mail it,
Yeah.
We also do email right behind it, asking them if they got the hard copy in the mail. By the way, here's a digital copy, because it's an excuse for another touch.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I think driving for dollars is one of the most effective ways to find houses, because what I've learned is you make your money in the field. I mean, you buy houses in the field. You can try to sit at a desk all you want to, but it really helps when a live body's out there, especially if you get out and you want to talk to the neighbors 2 to the right and 2 to the left and 4 across the street. Because what happens is you may not even buy the house that you're asking them about. They'll tell you about grandma's house 3 blocks down the way, and that's the one you end up buying. It's like activity spawns activity, right? activity spawns activity. So I love driving for dollars for that reason. I get to go out. I get to see what's going on in those neighborhoods. I get to see where, right around the corner, they're in the process of refurbishing 5 houses. The comps are going to go up in this neighborhood in a short period of time. By the time these houses are finished, the comps are going to go up, and that's a really key, indicator. I could pay a little bit more for that house than maybe I would have 3 weeks ago when I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what's cool about DriveBuy is now we've made it really fun. Because the old process it's kind of a drag, and and most new people are like, they want it to be so easy. I mean, they basically don't, they don't want to do much to get started. And this,
But the truth, it's the world we live in. Hey, it's not automated. Okay, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, then I'm done. But it actually makes it really fun, and you can actually focus more on those more high kind of value activities. So like talking to the neighbors, and as you're driving, you start to get in the groove, and you just start, flagging stuff, and you see how easy it is to start capturing, and building these like super high quality leads lists. And back to your other point, we really don't want to automate everything, right? You want to be engaged in your business, and you want to be able to manage that business. So, our mini CRM has an audit trail that says like what you've done and when, so you can kind of check those leads. Hey, you sent a piece of direct mail. If you want to send out another, another campaign, you just click repeat, send it, and you're good. But that mini CRM, we definitely have room to add some features, but that staying in the business and making sure like you've got a handle on it, and it's probably better to nurture 200 leads than it is to go capture 1,000 leads and do nothing. So
yeah, talking about that, adding features and stuff, when you're in the digital application world, or you're doing apps, or you're trying to do software like this, or you call this an app or a software?
So we are actually a software application that has a mobile tool, is what I would say. Yeah. So we're a platform. I say it sounds hip. Look at our domain has an IO at the end of it, so that makes us even hipper. Yeah, that means we're officially a platform.
I like it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about pricing. And before we get into pricing, I just want to tell everybody, this is a recorded archived podcast, and so this podcast can be out there for months, if not years. So prices are subject to change, but we're talking about it today. It's March the 20th or thereabouts, 2019. So we're talking about prices on this day. Nate has the right to change his prices or add value or subtract or whatever he wants to do. But today, where do we stand on price? What does this run a person?
So we really developed this to help the newbie. And we started looking at all the other software competitors out there that offer similar features. And, they're anywhere from $50 to $150 to get started a month. And we took a look at that and said, we want this for everybody. So we have subscriptions starting as low as $10 a month, all the way up to $40 a month. And we even have users that have customized plan that are doing, 6,000 leads a month. And so they obviously get customized pricing for that. But so you can do as little as 50 leads a month, and you can go up as high as, 10,000 leads a month if you want. And we have those basic pricing model, but we love to customize as well. Okay.
So go to reinvestorsummit.com/drivebuy. You're offering a free trial offer. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So everybody that comes out, it's really important for people to have a chance to try it out. So we have a free trial. You can go drive around. You get 10 free leads. Go make sure the data in your area is quality. And then once you're ready to roll, just jump into a subscription.
Okay. So they'll be able to get this, get the free trial offer over there at reinvestorsummit.com/drivebuy. Also, there's some incentives there, discount wise. I'll let you read about that. But if you get over there to the show notes, reinvestorsummit.com/drivebuy, and get your free trial offer. When you're starting a program like this, we're always looking for like case studies and people that had success. Are there any case studies that users that jump out in your mind, some success stories?
Yeah, so we I've got a couple people. I tried to get him to give me a video testimonial, and he, I think within, a couple hundred leads, was able to close on a deal. I think he made $24,000 on it. We've, it is a numbers game. And so, a lot of people ask, well, what's my response rate going to be if I send direct mail? And, how many deals am I going to get? And, obviously that's so different for every market. The most important thing is people that have been consistent with it and have created, because these lists are the most valuable lists that you can get, right? If you're driving your area and you're consistent, you're going to have success with it. And you do need to make sure your volumes are up. But yeah, we've got several people that have been loving the app. Pretty good response rates. Our direct mail is based on users that have done metric tracking and understand the response rates. So, we've really tried to dial in most of our product to make sure that, you get the
Well, let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about the numbers thing.
Yeah.
I want to concur with you. It is a numbers game. If, I talk to people that are only mailing like 200 or 300 letters a week or a month. I say, hopefully you get lucky and you get inspired and you buy one soon, but don't be surprised if you go 6 months before you buy one. I mean, because you've got to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to give yourself a chance. Also, don't forget that it's cumulative. If you're doing 1,000 or let's just say 2,000 letters a month, okay, well, the first month there's 2,000 letters out there, but the second month there's 4,000, and by the third month there's 6,000. So you go a whole year, now you got 24,000 letters out there. What I mean, postcards, and don't be surprised that the person you buy the house from was someone that you sent out on the first batch. I mean, the oldest lead that we've ever purchased from was from 4 years ago, a mailing we did. 4 years that they waited for the circumstance to happen. I was like, he pulls out this letter, and I have my letters coded, so I know when they went out, and I'm going, wow, I don't even know if we were tracking this stuff back then. We went back, and that letter had gone out 4 years ago, and I asked him, how in the world do you still have this letter after 4 years? And he says, well, it interested me when I got it, but it wasn't time yet. My grandmother was getting up in age. We could already see where her health was failing. We knew that she had, some houses that we were going to have to liquidate in the estate. She'd done very well at planning her estate. And not to be morbid or anything, but he said, I know that one day the day would come, which will come for all of us. and he said, I just had it in the file with the estate stuff so that when the time was there, I figured if you guys were still in business, that you were someone who was doing something right.
Yeah.
And so that's why he called. So don't forget the accumulative effect of what you're doing. Right now, I'm following up on 16,000 warm leads. People that I've actually talked to or have called me or made a response or texted me back or something. I mean, there's leads like you just put in the CRM. Potential houses I want to buy. But at the minute there's one contact made, they move into a whole nother bucket because that's a whole different level of a lead now.
Yeah.
They made contact or we've spoke, So please don't forget the cumulative effect. And if you're just starting out in this business, it's tough, man. The first year, no one knows you. You have no articles out there. You have nothing. You're starting from zero. So it takes a year and a half, 2 years to really start to, get to a point where every now and then some seller will walk in the door out of the blue. That doesn't happen in the first 6 months. No one's walking through your door out of the blue because you're not been around long enough to have any momentum. So jump starting your momentum means you throw up massive numbers. If you're in any kind of major city, you can use DriveBuy REI and jump your numbers up as fast as you can. I mean, try to see 1,000 houses this month and get them through the DriveBuy REI. Get yourself jump started. You got to take massive action. I mean, I didn't coin that phrase. That phrase has been around for a long time. Massive action. You got to take massive action. Even 1,000 might be dumb. I mean, maybe you should get 5,000 if you really want to get going. I mean, you or somebody drive their butt off for a couple of months. I mean, get something going and get it fast. Because the difference between life and death and a lot of these newbies coming on is they got to see some success pretty soon or they run out of gas.
Yep.
Run
That's
out of
exactly right.
gas they run out of financial gas, they run out of hope, you know. And so the best way to hedge against running out of that stuff is to put up huge numbers as much as you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get yourself a strike or two so you got some refueling going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I've been telling a lot of newbies too is this tool now enables you to start working with other investors that are more experienced. So if you download the $10, $20, subscription plan, you can start building up a leads list. You can start talking to, go to your local meetup, start talking to some other high level investors and say, hey, look, I'm investing tons of my time and money into building a quality leads list. If I capture this lead, will you work with me, or can I sell it to you? And if you don't have the experience yourself yet, it's still a super easy way to get involved because the value of the lead is so high. So that's one thing that we've been trying to get our newer users on is use the app. Look, you can show people that you're serious and start talking to the experienced investors at your meetups and say, this is the leads list I've built. If you want, I can drive for you. Let's work together. And it's a super low cost way to get in there.
So that's a good point. Let me tell you a story about my partner, Mike Powell. Mike Powell was in San Antonio, and he wanted to hire me for the one-on-one coaching. I told him, I don't coach in San Antonio for a lot of different reasons. It's not necessarily that I have this scarcity mentality. That's not 100% of it. But even so, there's some ponds that I fish in that are very shallow. And if someone pays me, I want to tell them everything I know because they deserve to know everything I know. I want to do a full download dump to them. And if you're in my town, there's just some things I'm not going to tell you because if you put that on a billboard, maybe you get 10 fish out of that pond. If everybody's fishing in that pond, you'll be lucky if you get one fish out of that pond, Yeah. So some of these ponds are shallow. So I told Mike Powell no. And I told him no again, and I told him no again. You know how he ended up being my partner, and how he ended up being my partner was, and this is the key, he kept finding tremendous deals and signing them up on a contract where he had 30 days to buy it. He just kept bringing me deal after deal after deal. And I mean, I didn't want a partner. I wasn't looking for a partner. I kept blowing him off. I certainly didn't want to train him. And without any training, he was getting out there and getting into stuff. And so the moral of the story is the ability to sign up great deals will get you in rooms and in places that you wouldn't otherwise be. If you just walk in there, hey, can I be your partner? Well, no. Why? Yeah. But you start saying, hey, I got these 5 deals, or I got these 3 deals, or I got this one killer deal. Will you partner with me on this one deal? That's how it happens.
Yeah.
The deal runs everything. The deal will find the money. The deal will find your partner. If there's one out there for you and you're a good partner and you're looking for a partner, it'll find the partner. So this business has an incredible way of skyrocketing people that A, have integrity, and B, have work ethic, and C, have some patience.
Yeah.
And have some vision.
And not only that, the education piece, right? As soon as you lock up that deal, man, that your education really gets kicked into high gear.
Well, right. When you, and this is the other thing, if you're going to partner with someone, I wouldn't partner with someone just because they had the money. I would be looking for the guy who has the money and has all this experience behind him in this industry, so that you're not only getting the money or the funding, a partner, but you're also getting a partner that can actually educate you, guide you, and make you better.
Yeah.
I found, like, in my beginning days, I would partner with people and all they had was the money. And I thought, this sucks because I'm not learning anything.
Yeah.
I'm out here, sometimes not even sure of myself. When if I would have partnered with someone that did 200 houses already, they're not going to let me mess up, and I'm going to learn why they're telling me things,
Yeah.
I'm also gonna get privy to their network at some point, and be careful with that. You don't want to steal a guy's network. Like, you certainly don't want to go to, if your guy that you're partnered with is borrowing money from a certain man, you certainly don't go to that man and ask if you can borrow money. That would be a complete out of bounds move.
Yeah.
But, he uses a plumber 3 times on a job and he did a good job. I mean, you can, I don't have to worry about where the plumber is anymore. I know they got a plumber over here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, that's exactly right. And that's what I'm actually finding now is I've been getting into more deals as I've built some good connections, and I typically go through that person to ask for, I just did my first deal with private money, and I found my private money person. I just asked a friend that I had kind of built up through investing, and just said, hey, is it cool if I have this deal, I need some private money. If you feel comfortable sending it to your network, it'd be awesome. And she did, based on the rapport that we'd already built. So
yeah, but you did the right thing. You went and asked. You said, I'm not going to go to. I know who they are, but I'm not going to go to your people without asking permission.
that's right. Yeah.
That's a nice way to get X'd out of everything, just by trying to be conniving.
Yeah. There's enough of that. Yeah.
Yeah. This business is. Notice I named integrity first. That was the first thing. That was the first one. You gotta prove to the community out there that you're a guy that is worth doing business with, and that you're not a threat, and that and always don't be a taker too. You got to find something to give back. I mean, I really don't like it when people say, I'll take you to lunch and let me rake your brain. I say, well, that sucks. That really sucks. I went to, people probably get sick of me saying this. I went to La Calle U. La Calle means the street in Spanish.
Yeah.
I didn't go to college. I went to La Calle U. I learned from the street. It's probably the most expensive college on the planet. I can think of $800,000 it's cost me so far, just right off the top of my head. And I still have it, no one's sending me a little piece of paper in a frame. I don't really need that. I don't need that certificate anymore because I got a bank statement. But my bank statements, my graduation. I graduated about $5 million ago, at least. So it's an interesting conversation. I think we've covered it pretty much, but just let me reiterate. You got a free trial offer. Go to reinvestorsummit.com/drive-by, DRIVEBY, and there you can sign up for the free trial. And by the way, Nate, it's evergreen. You can put as much stuff over there if you want to. If you've got things in the next week or two that come up that you want to add to it, just call my people. They'll keep your show notes up to date.
Okay.
If you have a speaking engagement somewhere and you want to post it there, I mean, whatever you want to do over there, right?
Okay.
And if you have any other special promotional offers or anything, you can put them over there too, even long after this recording has been put in the can. So
awesome.
All right.
Sweet.
Anything you want to say out there to the new investors before we maybe wrap it up?
Just try to take action every day. Just keep moving forward. If you can keep moving forward, you can make it happen. Keep
moving forward. I agree 100%. You guys, I forgot to do this in the beginning, but I better do it now. I got to pay homage to my sponsor, taxfreefuture.com. If you don't have a tax deferred or tax-free account that you can invest through and save all those, not pay taxes on your gains, then you're missing out on probably one of the wonders of the world. Einstein said that compound interest was the 8th wonder of the world. I'm going to suggest that maybe investing tax-free or tax-deferred may be the 9th wonder of the world then. Please go to taxfreefuture.com. Learn about how you can get a solo 401k or an self-directed IRA or self-directed health savings account or self-directed educational account for your kids' college funds, how you can have checkbook control so you don't have to wait on trustees, because you can't steal houses in slow motion, brothers and sisters. I mean, when it's time to write, all you got to do is lose one deal that you're trying to buy through your 401k or your IRA because you're waiting around for a custodian, and you lose a deal that could have made you $20,000, $30,000 or more, and that'll be the last time you'll ever stay with an account that's not doesn't have checkbook control. So I suggest that you go by taxfreefuture.com. We have 37 videos over there that tell you how, when, why, and show you case studies of how people are taking little bits of money that they start their retirement with, and how they grow that little bitty tiny amount of money. When I say tiny, $250 or $500, and how they're growing it into hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in very few moves. It's very interesting. The case studies will blow your mind. So go to taxfreefuture.com, and for sure you will be surprised at what your financial advisors are not telling you. Okay. So how'd I do? How'd I do, Nate? That
was good. I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I'd like to thank everyone out there for stopping by to get you some Nate Pummel and learn about DriveBuy REI and how to make driving for dollars more effective and more fun. And this is Mitch Stephen with the Real Estate Investor Summit podcast. I hope you're achieving all your goals. I guess we're out of here, Nate. Bye-bye.
All right.